What's up everybody, it's Brian, and in this video I'll be putting this together, which is actually supposed to look like this. The reason I'm making this video is because there's not a lot of coverage on this outside of the couple of reviews on Amazon, which primarily say that putting this together is a royal pain in the butt. So while this video isn't going to show you exactly how to put this together, it'll just be a time lapse as well as some before and after thoughts. I just wanted to make this video anyway to just add a little bit more out there regarding this product. And the main reason I wanted to give it a try because I noticed that with my Fractal Design Meshify C Mini Tempered Glass Edition, my video card would have several degrees lower temps by removing the dust filter on the front. Removing the front panel didn't do anything, but it's not until I removed the dust filter, which doesn't have much dust on it anyway, when I realized that, I guess it was just suffocating the intake fans on the 240 mil radiator that I have on the front of the case for my video card. I never made a video about this, but I did end up getting a Corsair H100X 240 mil AIO and zip tied it to my Gigabyte RTX 2070 Super, and the results were massive, to me at least, going from about 83 degrees Celsius in gaming down to the mid-50s. To me, that's a big improvement. That's zip tied here. I do have the original shroud and 3 GPU fans to help blow air onto the VRM and other components because I don't have any heat sinks on anything. Not really necessary from the research I found, as long as you've got some airflow going on top of everything. So again, by removing just the dust filter on the front, I was able to bring the GPU temps down by several degrees, in addition to what just adding the AIO did anyway to the GPU. So by switching everything in here to an open air test bench, I'll just be calling it a computer frame for the rest of this video, I'm not really expecting too much of an improvement on the GPU side of things because there's nothing really to improve upon too much. But the ambient temps on the inside of the case, I would expect to, because there is no case, all of the motherboard components, maybe even the CPU might be improved by a couple of degrees. Nothing major, but it would be cool to also have something where all of the components are exposed on a tabletop, or maybe I can end up wall mounting everything. Because with the GPU going, there's some pretty warm air coming out of the top exhaust as well as the rear exhaust. So I figured if there's just a degree or two benefit for the rest of the components by being in an open air environment, why not go for it? So again, I won't be doing a complete tutorial on how to put this together, but the instructions that come with it are not very helpful. So I'm just going to be doing a time lapse to show everything being built, and then I'll be sharing my thoughts afterwards. So again, this is what we should be going for. Multiple hours later and everything is finally complete. This is what the full frame looks like with everything installed. I have it set up so that the radiator and the heatsink are both pulling in air, even though the motherboard was flipped around, so the I/O is on this side. This is considered the front now. So it's going to be a little bit annoying to have a lot of cables coming out from this side, but otherwise it's not going to be too bad, I think. Let's go ahead and power it on using the included switches. So in this case, it is the yellow one. Everything is powered on just fine. Let's go ahead and take a walk around and look on this side. So here we have the two 120s pulling in the air. The power supply is resting on this middle frame and this leg, so it's pretty stable overall. In fact, the entire unit is very solid. You can pretty much just pick it up with this bar on the top and carry it around. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but it is an option if you're transporting this briefly. Again, it did take a long time to put this together, and it wasn't really difficult. The instructions didn't help too much. They weren't really instructions. If you've ever built a PC before, it's really just take a look at the parts and see how everything fits together. Not the most elegant solution, but everything does seem to be working, so I'll just go ahead and start using it, and maybe I'll report back later on to see how everything works. Here's what the final positioning looks like. I got the Wi-Fi antennas connected now. Kind of a mess of cables towards the front, but not a big deal.
especially when my GPU temps are in the 55s when running Heaven. So I have it set on a fixed location in the world, just so that it can peg the GPUs 98%. It's anywhere from 52 to 56, depending on my fan speeds, which I am still tweaking with using the ASRock software that came with the motherboard. So that's in progress, but it's about what I would expect for this. Haven't done any CPU testing yet, but so far everything is working as it should. So for about 50 to 60 bucks, I think this is a pretty good buy. It definitely took a while to put together, but it does the job just fine. One more thing before I go. I did take the power LED and the hard drive activity indicators off, leaving just the power switch and the reset switch. The green and red lights were just unnecessary, I thought, so I took those out. Another thing to mention real quick is that the GPU support bracket that was right here, it actually gets in the way of the outputs for the video card, so by simply removing that, everything is accessible again.